Alright everybody, so in today's video, I'm going to be showing you my super high protein, low calorie, anabolic recipe for chips and dip. That is right, super original recipe here on the channel. So this is something that's going to help you lose some weight. I've been eating this stuff, starting to get lean. I'm going to show you exactly what goes in it, how to make it, and then break down the macros for you. Here we go. Alright, so before we get started, here's just a quick little physique update. This is about how I'm looking. We're about 9 weeks away from the show, so let's get into it. Alright everybody, welcome back to the Ninja Kitchen. Before we get things started, gotta make a quick wardrobe change. Alright, there we go. It is protein chef time. Let's get into it. Alright, let's take a look at the ingredients. Here we go. First up, you're gonna need an onion, then some onion powder. Gonna need some fat-free cream cheese, not the full fat stuff, and some turkey pepperoni. Again, important, but make sure you get the turkey kind, okay? It's gonna be healthier. Grab yourself a bowl and knock her aside. Gonna start with the cream cheese. Alright, so first thing you're gonna want to do is measure out 2 ounces of cream cheese. So mine has this nice little measurement guide, so I'm not even gonna bother with the grams. Just cut it to 2 ounces fat-free cream cheese. That's all you gotta do. Next up, get out your cutting board. We're gonna be using a sharp knife, so be careful, don't let the kids around, and we're gonna peel an onion. Here you go. Watch, this is how you do it. Ready? Pretty cool, right? Okay, stick around and I'll show you how to do that. JK. So make sure you take out all this like little green crap, whatever that is, like in the onion. Like you don't want to eat it, okay? All right, and then go ahead and start cutting it up. I'm using about 1/4 of an onion, so I do weigh it out right here, and it comes out to about 55 grams or so. So I just recommend use a 1/4 onion. Do your best not to cry. Alright, so after chopping up your onion, take your fat-free cream cheese. We're going to take a trip over to the microwave. I just popped this bad boy in for 30 seconds on full power. It should come out nice and soft, just like this, kind of sliding around at the bottom. That's fine. Alright, so it's important how finely you chop up your onion because you're going to be eating it. So if you want a smoother dip, make sure to chop it up finer or blend it or something. I don't know, this is what mine looks like. Then just go ahead and start mashing that together. It makes a wonderful noise. Alright, once you have that blended, we're going to start working on our pepperoni. So take a half serving. For me, that is 8 pieces of pepperoni. For you, it's either going to be 7 or 8 depending on the brand. And again, make sure you cut it up nice and fine. Biggest thing to keep in mind, you're going to be eating this, so make sure it comes out nice and fine and you're going to have a nice smooth dip. Alright, here we go. Just put that in, combine it all, and get to mashing again. Same thing as before. This is what mine looks like towards the end. And just for some flavoring, add a little bit of onion powder. If you want some other seasonings, go ahead and add it in. Now is the time. So now we're going to start making our chips. Lay out another 8 pieces of turkey pepperoni. I just use a little piece of paper towel because it absorbs the moisture. Go ahead and pop that in the microwave. We're going to cook it on high for 1 minute. Now the cooking time for this can actually vary from person to person depending on your microwave. You can also reheat this dip real quick if you need to soften it up. But be careful of the cooking time for the pepperoni chips because they might come out a little brittle. I will show more about that at the end. But this is about what we're working with. So here is my nicely cooked pepperoni chip. Not too overdone. It's pretty good. It's also important to let it sit for a minute after it's done cooking just so it dries. And for thumbnail purposes, I'm transferring this to a container, but here we go. And there it is. Oh my goodness. This thing is heavy. It is packed with protein. It's got the flavor from the meat, the onions, the powders, the creaminess. This stuff is just so good. And literally, look at this. All right, taste test. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Cheers. Definitely had to just refilm that because my camera wasn't recording. Anyways, this stuff is like
really good. It is high protein, low calories. Like I mentioned before in the cooking time, the only downside to this is making your protein chips, which is just the pepperoni. Depending on how long you cook them and how long you let them set for, they may be a little too brittle. So if you notice you're trying to like dig in there and it just keeps breaking off, that's the only downside to making this recipe. But honestly, this is one of the easiest recipes you can make. It only takes like 4 ingredients, and look how much dip this made. Like, you can seriously just load up these chips as much as you want, and there's gonna be plenty of dip. I'm gonna throw the macros up on the screen in a second, but real quick, just a couple things to keep in mind. This is super customizable. So if you feel like you want a lot more chips, just cook up some more pepperonis. Honestly, these things are so good. You can just eat them by themselves, just as little chip snacks. That's what I do all the time. Pull like a serving of them, which is like 15, 16 on a paper towel, throw it in the microwave for a minute. You have like a nice serving of chips. They're low calorie, high protein, and they're really good. Listen for this crunch. So if you want more chips, just make more chips. If you only want the chips and you don't want the dip, then literally just make it. It's gonna take you less than 2 minutes to do the entire thing. Now for this entire recipe, if you make it exactly just like I did, the same amount of like pepperonis and stuff like that, here are the macros and the calories for you. Like I said, for chips and dip, this is a really low calorie, really high protein snack, guys. Like, I literally don't think you can go wrong making this pretty much whenever. The other thing too is that if you run out of chips because you ate them all, like I just did, you still have some dip left, just grab yourself a little spoon, get some of the dip out. The combination of the onions and the pepperoni and the cream cheese just makes it really good. Now I will say, if you don't like onions, you will not like this recipe. But like I mentioned, this is a highly customizable recipe. So if you want a lot more volume, add more onion in. Onion is basically 0 calories, like unless you eat an entire thing. So the more onion you add in, the more volume you're getting for like almost no calorie add. And same thing, if you don't really like the onion or you just want it more like cream cheesy, then just add less onion, or you can just add more cream cheese. There's only 30 calories an ounce. Now I call for 2 ounces, which is only 60 calories worth of the cream cheese, but you can also make this using either reduced fat or like full fat cream cheese. It's just not gonna be as high protein or low calorie. It'll probably taste a little better, but it's not gonna be as macro friendly. But there you have it, people, a super anabolic chips and dip recipe. I don't know about you guys, but I have not seen anything like this on YouTube yet. Maybe it exists, I don't know. This is something I've been making for a couple weeks now, just kind of like because I want to play around with some food stuff. I am doing my cut. I'm prepping for my first bodybuilding show, so if you want to follow me along, make sure you subscribe. Go watch the summer shredding series that's documenting my progress up until my show on June 11th. I really appreciate it. Also, let me know in the comments section if you make this, what you thought, and if you want me to make any more recipes, because I do have a few in mind. Just now that I'm in that summer shredding mode, I want to be able to share some of my best recipes that I'm making consistently that's helping me lose weight. I know there's a lot of recipes out there and this isn't really a recipe channel, but let me know in the comments if you like this video, what you want to see in the next one. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a like if you did. It helps me out. I will see you in the next video. Peace.